Hello, moms and dads, boys and girls, teachers and students. It's time to get creative. I'm K. Ryan Hennessy, and today we will be drawing a T-Rex, which is a dinosaur. Now, this little dinosaur doesn't look exactly like T-Rexes as they were. It's more of a cartoon version of a T-Rex. But you can draw whatever you'd like. The whole point of getting creative is drawing, creating, writing, painting, coloring, whatever it is. I want you to enjoy what you are making. Now, I'm going back over my pencil drawing. The pencil's really light here, so I sped it up because it's difficult to see. But now I'm going over it with my pen. You may be coloring, you may be drawing a dinosaur of your own, you may be painting with me. Whatever you're doing, it's the right thing to do. As you can see, I've gone over the whole drawing now with my ink pen. This is waterproof ink. It's a special kind of pen that will not bleed when I put water on the page. There you can see my water's got a little blue tint to it. I'm painting T-Rex using a watercolor technique called negative painting. Negative painting means that I am using only certain areas of space and wetness at a time. So as you can see right now, I'm painting the sky, adding in the first layer of color. It's a little light for me, so I'm going to add in a bit more darkness there. I like that. But you know what? It's going to be a little too much. I'm going to need to blend up and take some of this color back away. And there we go. But back to negative painting. The mountains are negative space now. And because the mountains are there, I'm allowed to paint at the bottom of the painting the ground. The mountains separate the sky from the ground, and I can allow the painting to dry. If I didn't allow them to dry, and I allowed the colors to touch, they would bleed together. We're going to see that in just a moment as I paint the green here. I was pretty sure that I was almost dry, but you know what? I wasn't. And there we can see right at the tail, there's a little line of green trying to escape, and we're just gonna erase it away right there, and no one will know. That's one of the special things about art. No one ever notices these things. Only the artist knows. Now I'm adding a little bit of depth to T-Rex, and I'm doing that by adding color while the space is wet. That lime green is still wet. I added an olive green, then I added a little bit of the emerald green. Now I'm going to paint the volcano over here, but I also see, oh, there's a bubble of green up there. I can see a bubble of green on the T-Rex, and I'm going to lift that off in just a second. You can also see the sheen, the wetness. There we go. You can see it move along the back of the dinosaur. That's the light reflecting off the wetness of the water. So I know that everything's still wet. So I'm going to avoid anything that's shiny. I'm going to paint in the mountains here. And I'm just going to keep a little bit of margin away from, just a little bit of margin away from T-Rex. Because that green is just a little bit wet, and I don't want any bleeding. Luckily, I have the black line to help me. T-Rex is almost done now. I'm gonna add the spine columns on him. Now, a real T-Rex doesn't have these little spiky things sticking off of its head, and it doesn't have little sharp teeth sticking out of its nose like that. But it looks like T-Rex enough that we know exactly what it is. So I'm going to add a little bit of a green color, and then I'm going to go back over my green and add some blue, just so it looks a little bit more different than the green of the body. And you'll see the blue kind of bleed out into the spiny parts. So what did you learn about your technique today? What did you do differently with your art or your creativity, and how can you use that going forward? Be sure to sign your work. Thanks for watching. This is K. Ryan Hennessy. Be sure to visit kryanhennessy.com for books, stories, art, and more. Thanks for coming.